Check 1 2 1 2. Let's see. Let's see. All right, I'm live. I think I'm live. Give it a few minutes. That's right. That's right. That's right. Do, 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 do. All right, I'm live. I'm live. Got one person watching. We're gonna wait for a few more people to start watching as well. You know, want to talk about Weary Wednesday, hermana, Miss Yaya, hermano. Buenos días. Hey, good morning to you. Buenos días a ti, hermana. Dios te bendiga. Espero que estés bien, tú y tu esposo y toda tu familia. Yo sé que más tarde vas a estar ahí chambeando en la radio, so we'll be there, always supporting. Hey, what's up? Good morning, Hangman. I got to do some early ones. As a matter of fact, I was talking to someone that's very special to me, and we were discussing like the lives. Like, if is it better the time I'm doing them now, or should I do them at the normal time? And I know that the normal time is like the customary, so people are gonna look, maybe wait for that one because they might not catch one that's early. So I might do too, but I can't always do it. Right now I have time. Right now I have a lot of time. Remember I told you guys I was gonna take a vacation, so it's not so much I'm taking a vacation, but I'm just working less. So it's sort of like a half vacation. So I have some time. I have some time. Last night we were live as well. And shout out to everybody that was with me last night. Let's see. I'm at my first job right now. That's right. Okay, Miss Yaya. Well, hey, God bless you, and may your job be blessed. May you have a productive, chill day. That's right, man. Primo, Popeye. Good morning, everyone. Hey, good morning, Popeye. Shout out to you, brother. Hey man, strangers in the house. I like early morning pop. Yeah, I know because of your schedule, bro. I know. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm figuring it out. I might just do two when I can. I think today I might be able to do a couple. Probably this week. So we'll see. We'll see what's up. Now, if I do that, I might not drop a video because like editing videos is a little time consuming. Now I dropped the video last night. If you haven't already checked it out, please go and watch it. Hit the like. If you haven't hit the like already on this live, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Frank Ticas rapping now. It's Talking Papas live. Hey man, it's a wary Wednesday. Wary, I think that in this day and age, we're wary about a lot of shit. Like, we don't trust it. Like Public Enemy, don't trust it, right? Can't trust it. You can't trust it. So we're wary about a lot of things nowadays. We're worried about relationships. We're wary about jobs, opportunities. We're worried about government. We're worried about so many things. Like, we really look at these things that we shouldn't maybe have so much suspicion over with a suspicious eye. Like, we side eye a lot of shit. And we also side eye a lot of people. Sometimes we're wary of people, wary of their intentions, wary of, can I trust this person with something that I want to say, with my ideas, with my thoughts, Sometimes we're very careful, like with certain people. I don't know if it happens to you, but I know that with certain people, when I talk to them, it's sort of like I got to kind of walk on eggshells, right? Because I don't know if the person is going to take something I say wrong, or if they're going to run with it and spread it weird, or they might take offense to it. So I'm always very wary of how people might react, right? Now, we just to understand, just to make it clear, to be wary of something, it's, you're feeling or showing careful caution because you think something might be dangerous, harmful, or untrustworthy. Now, we can also be wary for a lot of the wrong reasons, and we're going to talk about that too. I think it's natural to fear certain things and to be protective of things and to be kind of like on the defensive on certain things, especially if we've had a bad experience with similar situations. Right? Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say that if you had once had a job in a certain industry, right? And you learned a little bit about that industry, but you didn't like it. You didn't like the work. You didn't like the industry per se. And then, maybe a few years later, someone offers you a job and tells you, hey, but, it's in this type of industry and it's the same kind of industry that you felt like, nah, I wouldn't want to work there anymore because of this that happened to me when I was there. I wasn't treated right. The work was heavy. So you might be weary about jumping into a similar situation. I know I am. I'm very weary, like, about my job choices. Like in the past, when I had to look around and shop around, now I don't need to do that. But when I used to shop around, I was very, very, very wary of what they offered, what they said that they would do. And if it sounded very similar to something that was offered to me somewhere else where it didn't go that well, I'd be like, no, I'd avoid it. And that's how we are with people. That's how we are with situations. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Frank Dika's rapping now. Talking Papas live on a weary Wednesday. You got to be weary sometimes. Sometimes you have to be. And I think it's only natural. But there are times in which we're weary of something because we know or we feel that either the person or a situation is a threat to us. You can be weary and suspicious of people out of jealousy. No, that's very common. It's very common. Or when you feel threatened by someone coming into your space, maybe it's someone new. I get a bunch of these AI videos, these AI ads on YouTube, and I trip out on them because it's like I get these ads where like AI is trying to sell like courses, like AI courses, and it'll show like these melodramatic scenes of these dudes come. What happened? Oh, I'm getting fired. Why are you getting fired? Oh, because John, he's the new guy and he knows AI and all of these things. So I think that in reality, sometimes people are threatened by the newcomer. Sometimes people are threatened by the Johnny come latelys. It happens because this person is new. This person might have something that may be interesting, right? Or maybe different. And if you're a competitive person, especially like out here on these YouTube streets, if you're out here competing, you're always going to be wary of the next guy that comes up, of the next person that puts out their channel, of the next person doing this or doing that. Like if your mind is on that, you will be wary of people. You will be wary of the competition. Now, I want to be very upfront. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. On YouTube, like, I'm not in competition with anyone. Like, I do not see anyone as competition, not because I think I'm so great, no one's my competition. No, it's because I don't feel like I'm competing. I'm not competing with anyone. I'm putting my content out. I'm doing what I do. I support the Exposure Revolution. That's why we went live this morning. It's not me trying to take over anything. It's just that, hey, ET didn't get up. So Sooners was trying. So he tried to put it on live. I guess it didn't work for him. And so that's when I jumped on. All right, I'll help out. But see, that's where that, for example, our intentions, and I know ET and everybody knows, like, our intentions are not to take anything from anyone. We're just here supporting the revolution. Shout out to ET, ladies of Exposed to, and everything that, hey man, that Gen X thing that you guys rolled out yesterday, that's very interesting, and I think that will be something great to do. And in no way, shape, or form do I feel like I'm competing against what the movement is doing, because we're all one and I support everything just like I know all of you guys support me. So I don't want, anyone to ever think that I'm doing something out of competition. If I ever do something to address people, it's probably because they've attacked me. They've already been talking shit about me, and they're probably putting out videos and they expect an answer, and I might decide to answer a few like I've done in the last few days. But other than that, I'm always going to try to put content out like the one I'm putting out right here, because I think it's important for us to understand where these things come from. Like, sometimes we're doing things and we're not understanding where it's coming from. A lot of times it may come from a place of insecurity, of jealousy. No, or we have to be upfront. Like if we are jealous of something, we have to be upfront about it. I think sometimes we do harbor a little enviousness, a little jealousy, but we know it's wrong, so we disguise it or we justify our actions, for example, being suspicious of people, not being welcoming of people and experiences, because you're a little threatened. You feel a little threatened by this new situation. You might be a little jealous of the attention that this person, that this new thing is getting. And if you feel that way, it's good to recognize it. Look, I've had to recognize a lot of shit in my life in order for me to understand, okay, that's not the route. Like, that's what was holding me back. What was holding me back were my own insecurities, were my own thoughts of, not being able to live up to the expectations of others. Like, there was a whole bunch of, like, an array of things that I had to think about that I felt were holding me back. You are the only person holding yourself back. So let me drop some knowledge right here. Frank Tika's dropping knowledge, talking Papa's live on a wary Wednesday. Sometimes you have to be wary of your mind and of your intentions and what your mind is telling you. Especially if you're trying to move forward, especially if you know that next move is the best one, but something in the back of your mind is telling you, nah, but what are you doing? You shouldn't do it. It's going to fuck up. You're going to fuck up. Be wary of your own thoughts. Like I said, I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm in competition with myself and the old man, the one that was, that was worried about shit, the one that had insecurities, the one that felt certain way about people, when I felt threatened or when I was jealous, when I felt insecure. That's who I compete with. I'm competing against that man. No, and I'm constantly trying to improve, so I get as far away from that man as possible. That's my only competition. My only competition is myself, and knowing that what I'm doing now here, like when I put out content, I'm putting out righteous content. Things that I feel, things that I honestly believe, because I'm never gonna come back like 3 years later, or maybe two videos later, I'm like contradicting everything I said on my last two videos. That happens a lot. It's very common when people come out here to fake the funk. And that's one thing I won't do. So, once again, I'm not in competition with anyone. As a matter of fact, I support channels such as Taco Stain, Sooners, Terps, Ladies of Exposed Tube, E.T., Katie Frizzle, Ghost, Shankopotamus, Runner's Pug. Like everybody that puts out their stuff, I support it. And when you start monetizing, like some of you guys aren't monetizing yet. But like the ones that are already monetizing, like I give donations. I'm not rich, and I only do it because I think that it's good to support people that are putting content out there. It does take time, it does take resources, it does take an imagination to constantly be thinking about what am I going to put out next? What am I going to talk about next? It does take some work. It takes some effort to constantly think of how I'm going to attack this situation, how I'm going to give you my point of view. So when I see content creators, doing their work and righteously trying to be original, I mean, it's kind of hard to be original because we're not out here reinventing the wheel. We're just giving our spin on things. So we can't really say that a lot of our content is 100% original. And I think that when there are content creators that make that criticism, they need to look in the mirror because we're all using the same tools. We're all kind of using a little bit of the same style, coming in front of a camera, putting up things. I mean, it's not really, you can't really reinvent too much on these platforms. Now, the message may be different, the topics may be different, but everybody's got a niche. Even if we're all talking about soccer, for example, like I've been seeing a bunch of videos on since the World Cup, just football, like just zillions, like 100 popped up. And all of them are getting like 3,000, 4,000. I'm like, man, I should have gotten into sports. you know, I should be talking about soccer, but that's not my thing. That's not my cup of tea. I feel comfortable doing what I do. So once again, I think it's important to, like, if you watch content creators, support them, like subscribe to them. That's like the first step. Subscribe to them, give like to their stuff, because that's like the first, that's how, what motivates a content creator. Like when you guys hit the like, when you guys watch my videos, when I see the subscription rate going up little by little, like it motivates me, because I'm like, well, okay, I'm reaching people. People are listening to me. They're digesting the content I put out there, and they're coming back for more, and I appreciate it. Straight up. Frank Dicas dropping on stocking papas live, but sometimes I'm kind of weary. Like sometimes I am weary about like a comment or what someone tagged me on, and I kind of look at it like, where's this coming from? And then that just comes from me being always like just scoping things out. And like I said, being wary of situations is not bad. That's not the being wary is not bad within itself. But what are the reasons that you're being suspicious? What are the reasons that you are side eyeing people? What are the reasons for you to treat people a certain way? Is it because you have a righteous fear? Like, you righteously feel threatened? I mean, it could be an irrational fear, but that does not mean that does not make it any less real to you or me, right? Like, whatever fear we have, whether irrational or not, it's real to us. But where does that fear come from? Does it come from a place of honest impotence or insecurity? Or are you jealous? Do you fear being taken over? Do you fear being displaced? Looking like the odd person out because a new person's coming in, taking up a little space, making a little noise. Is that going to drive you? What's that going to do to you? How are you going to feel about it? And this applies to every team, and all of a sudden they bring in a new forward, or they bring in a new defense. And you're like, wait a minute, isn't that my spot? Like, why are you bringing new people in? I thought my shit was secure, so that might make you feel like, wow, now I gotta keep an eye on this person. He might want to take my job. He might want to take my spot on the team. He might want to take my spot in my relationship. That's why there's, dudes and girls will side eye friends and will be weary, even of family. But is that natural? Like, where does that wariness come from? Is it from a righteous place of fear, like, wow, this person seems dangerous, like they can cause me harm? Or is it, man, this person's gonna take my spot, which is gonna fill in my shoes? That's right, Frankie. Do you think you can interview the guy on a motorcycle that passes your house? I'll try, bro. I'll try. Send in mine's Frank and my ET family. That's right, youngster. Hey, shout out to youngster, man. Shout out. Hey, there's a bunch of motorcycles like that. Hey, man, it's fucking crazy. It's a pandemic. Popeye, that's right, youngster. Hey, shout out to you guys. Hey, Wolverine, saludos, Frank, traveling to Guatemala for work. Hopefully, Bam doesn't send his minions to get me. Hey, that's cool, bro. So you're gonna be around my area. Yeah, Guatemala is a few hours away, bro. It's a few hours away. I can't go, but it would have been cool to see you, bro. If you ever come to El Salvador, let me know. We'll try to meet up, brother. That's right, the Hangman Stranger. Hey, Wolverine, that's right. Safe travels, safe travels. Jay Slaughter's in the house. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Jay Slaughter. Shout out to Popeye. Shout out to the Hangman Stranger, Wolverine, Youngsta, Miss Yaya, everybody that's watching and supporting. I appreciate you. There's 10 people. Hey, there's 10 people watching. Sure, look, let me ask you guys, should I get happy because 10 people are watching, or should I feel sad? That's right. That's right. Semis Frank and my ET Familia, Youngster. That's right. Let me just get back to these. Okay, Primo. That's right, Jay Slaughter. I'm here even though I'm delirious from inside. Okay. Well, I hope you don't have too much delirium. Kelly Big Dog. Hey, shout out to you. JS, get some rest. Count ghosts. It may help. Papa, yeah, get some rest, bro. Kelly Big Dog. Hangman. That's right. Hey, shout out to everybody, man. Everyone that's watching, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, I appreciate your support. And when I see familiar users, I was going to say familiar faces. No, but when I see familiar users, to me, it's like, well, okay, that's cool that you guys are here. It feels good to have that type of support. And that's why I'm telling you guys straight up. Like, I don't envy anybody. Like, I like what we have. I like this community. If it grows and it, and it becomes more and more people join, obviously I'll want that and I'll welcome it. I'll welcome that. But I'm not competing against anyone. But hey, some people are competing out there, like, or looking at me as though I'm their competitor. I could care less about what people do out there, man. And if you're a part of the family, if you're a part of the revolution, I'm going to support you. Yeah, that's right, Helga. Hi, everyone. I hope you're all good. Yeah, I hope you're doing good too. What's up, Ghost? Shout out to you, Ghost. Ramiro, what's happening? Frankie, Cuvo fam, my Sandman. That's right. That's right. Good morning, Helga. Ghost is in the house as well. Hey, shout out to everybody, man. So I want to talk about this a little bit because I think it's important that we check our motivations. Like, what is it that's keeping us from trusting someone? Or what is it that's keeping us from welcoming a situation or someone into our life? Is it that we truly are insecure, or is it that we're jealous and afraid and feel threatened by someone's presence? I mean, you got to really think about that. Now, if you feel threatened by someone's presence, that just means that you're aware that there's things that you need to work on. I mean, that's what it means. If you are threatened by someone's presence, by someone new on YouTube, like you're a content creator, someone new pops up doing the same type of content as you, similar, because it's not the same, but similar, and you feel a certain way about it, you might just be talking to yourself and telling yourself you're not that prepared or you're not as good. Now, if that's something within you, then that's something that you have to work on. It's not the other person's fault. It's not the other person's fault if they're getting traction, if people are watching what they're doing. And like I told you before, me personally, I'm not going to do just anything to get views and clicks. I'm not just going to come out here and talk stupidity and bullshit or talk about people just to talk about them. Now, we've been talking about certain people because of the actions, because of things that have occurred lately. But as far as me being concerned in what people do or don't do, no, more power to you. If your content is getting to the people that want to watch it, if people are subscribing, if you're starting to monetize and you're doing all that shit, good for you. And I hope you can continue doing what you like to do. That's right, Hellraiser, Mr. Oxnard. Hey, shout out to Mr. Oxnard, man, and Miss Yaya, everybody, man, that's in his house right now. Primo Hangman, Ox, that's right, Mr. Oxnard, Mr. Oxnard. Helga, Popeye, good to see you. I hope you have a good day too. Thank you for asking. I'm okay. Okay. Fear of the Dark, that's right. Oh, Fear of the Dark's in here. Shout out to Fear of the Dark. Ramiro, Mr. Oxnard, buenos dias. Helga, let's see, Fuerza, that's right, Fuerza. Let's see. Ghost, J Slaughter, CBD, Helga. Who are you? Pinche Ghost. Good to see you, Helga. That's right, Mr. Ox, Ramiro, Youngster, Big Frank. That's right, Mr. Oxnard. We're in the house, bro. I got 11 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I did drop a video early this morning before the live, I believe, that, because Dubs went live, Joker went live. We covered that. And yeah, levels, bro. Yeah, there's levels. Look, man, once again, all I consider myself is Ftdk dropping knowledge. I drop the content that I drop using what I have, trying to make the best of what I have. And I'm trying to monetize so I can upgrade. Why do I want to upgrade? Because I like what I do. I want it to be of better quality. And if I can get equipment, if I can get a soundboard, like all of those things that I know content creators have, I want to get them, in order to make these interactions a little better so I can add sound effects. And once again, it's because we're not reinventing the wheel. Like, me acquiring those things would not make me any different from other people. It would just mean that I'm adapting to this space and the type of tools that you can use to create content. I might not use the same sounds, I might not use the same effects, but I will be using the same type of tools, like getting a microphone, a better camera, things like that, because I think that if I'm going to continue doing this, I want to do it to the best of my ability. And once again, I'm not competing against anybody. No, I've seen content creators pop up and they're starting to, get their buzz, they're starting to make their moves, and that's cool. And I'm glad that they are. I know I'm doing mine too. Like I was able to monetize, which was a goal of mine. I'm trying to get to 1,000. That's my next goal, right? And it's little by little, I'm getting there. I'm almost at 600 subscribers, and I just want to thank every single one of you that subscribes, that watches, that hits the like. You guys know. Frank Tica's dropping out Stocking Papas live on a wary Wednesday, but I know that some people are wary of me. From the minute that I jumped on the scene, backing up the exposed to revolution, I know people saw me and were wary of me, suspicious, not knowing what to do, even amongst the ranks. And I understand, man. I understand because I don't walk with an air of insecurity. I'm not out here seriously trying to make anyone feel bad. But if I am confident about myself and I walk with my head high, trust me, it took years of work for me to get to that level, to where I was confident within myself, to where I could hold my head up high, to where I can speak openly to people and talk about myself without any prejudice, without any worries about anything. I mean, I've put out my testimony in front of people. I've talked about where I come from and everything. It stopped being an issue for me. But because I know what it feels like to be insecure, because I know what it feels like to have so many issues holding me back, is that when I started putting out my content, I thought, I'm going to share those things that have helped me. I'm going to share and talk to you guys about those things that I feel you should think about a little bit. Maybe you aren't really thinking about it. I just want to present it to you. Hey, I'm just being your friend. I'm being your homie. Frank Diaz dropping on Stocking Papas live. Hey, man, and if that gets the hate that I get, then that's okay. As long as I know that some people are listening and are truly understanding what it is that I'm trying to do. Some are threatened by the authenticity of somebody who, by comparison, reveals what a fucking fraud they are. I mean, I guess, because there's always that comparison, right? There's always that comparison. But it's not, at least it's on my end, it was never intentional. Like, I didn't intentionally come out here trying to make people feel bad about my presence, with the exception of, you guys already know, because I was very direct in what my presence was going to mean. It would mean that I was going to expose these fools and I was going to be on their necks. I made it very clear, and I've been doing it ever since. Like other people, I really don't care about. Like these people that attack me, constantly talk out of me. They're constantly talking about me, and that's where I'm like, why are you so wary of me? I'm not out here threatening you. I'm not out here threatening your existence. No, if anything, I'm just replying to what you're telling me. No, but other than that, I'm putting out my content, being a part of the Exposed Tube revolution, supporting ladies of Exposed Tube, and we're going to continue doing that until the wheels fall off. Frank Dica's dropping out Stocking Papas live, but as far as all you other dudes, like, why are you even tripping on me? So then that's where I start thinking, because I put myself in their shoes. I tell you guys, empathy is a superpower, and I always put myself in their shoes all the time. Like, why would someone say this? Like, why would someone react to this? Why is someone going to do this? Like, why would someone go so far as doing this? Like, I try to think about it. I put myself in their shoes, and I can understand because I've felt insecure. I can understand because I've felt jealousy. I've felt impotent. I've felt like I'm not good enough. I've had those feelings. And I think all of us have had them, at least to some extent. I mean, these are universal feelings. But when those feelings and the causes of them are holding you back, it's a problem. Some things are okay. Like some things are natural. Like I said, there may be some substantial fears that make sense. No, maybe this person, you see that their background, for example, maybe you know my background and you're afraid of my background, for example. Like I can understand you being wary of me. But once you get to know me and once we talk, you're gonna know that I'm a changed man. But I'm not gonna come out here to convince anybody of it. As long as I know, as long as my family knows, as long as the people that I work with know, as long as everybody that gets down with me knows that I'm a changed man, as long as you guys know the truth and have known that I've put my business out there since day one, I have no worry about what other people think or the narratives you put out. But what I do question is, what is the energy driving it? Like, why are you so hell bent on talking about me? I don't talk about certain people. I make mention of them because of trying to use an example for, if I'm talking about something that happened, I will use some people as an example without maybe naming them. But I'm constantly being criticized for, oh, you're not original, oh, this and that, blah blah blah, you right off the coattails. I'm like, okay, yeah, but then why are you putting content out on me? Why are you constantly mentioning my name? Isn't that like hypocritical? And I'm not telling you stop. All I'm saying is you're doing exactly what you accuse me of. We're not out here reinventing the wheel. No, so for you to feel like contempt towards me and disdain is kind of crazy when all I'm doing is putting out my content. But once again, I can understand because I've felt jealous. I've felt threatened when I was younger. And I had to work on that. I had to work on that in order to be a better man, in order to be a good father, in order to be a husband. Even, during my marriage, there was a lot of things that I had to work on as well to make it work. There were times in which I thought it wasn't going to work, but it had a lot to do with me. I wanted to see changes, but I wasn't changing. And it takes both sides, and you have to be willing to do the work so these things do not affect you. Once again, I'm not in competition with anybody out here. If anything, I support those that are putting out content that are righteously doing their thing. I support. I support. Now I'll subscribe. I'm not a member of a lot of channels. I'm not a member. Like I'm only a member of 3 channels. One of them being obviously exposed to, and that was recent. That was recent. Like I recently became a member, maybe like 2 months ago or a month ago. Okay, I've been supporting in other ways, like donations, things like that, because I am a supporter. I'm not jealous. I don't feel threatened by anything. If anything, I'm happy. Like I want to see Taco Sting blow up and have a great channel, and if you can make money off of it, and take care of shit with the money of, man, I want to see that. Hey, Hangman Stranger, we've talked about it. I've told you could put content out there and make some money off of this shit. And I've told you about it. I've never been a one to where I'm like, possessive of the craft, and I'm not going to. I mean, once again, I'm not reinventing anything, but if I can give you suggestions, I will, because I truly am not competing with no one. I'm only happy that I'm able to put out my content, that I'm able to get subscribers, that you guys are here watching, and it don't stop. I got 17 people, well, 21 people just jumped a little bit. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Let me catch up with these. So let's see. Duz was on his best behavior. He isn't. He just isn't no fun unless he crashes out. Yeah, but they were trying to make him crash out on me. And that's why I told you guys, I already know that I'm a target, because that there was that one troll was insistently talking about me, and someone told him within Dub's chat, someone within Dub's chat wrote, "Hey, bro, stop talking about them already." God. And I think that, damn it, Janet told something to Dub. She told him, like, you're not going to redeem yourself tonight. And I think when she said that, he controlled himself. So I think he was on his best behavior. He could have said more about me than what he said. That was his opportunity to just blow up. And he didn't. And see, and that's one of those things that I'm telling you. Like, I can understand him being upset at me. I can understand that. Like, I can understand Joker. I can understand Ratas being upset at me because I put out videos on him. I'm critical of him. I've disrespected him. And I know I have because of what he does. Right. But in my case, it's not even about jealousy. You guys already know. Like, I'm not jealous of his content or of. I, no, I was a supporter. Once again, I was a supporter. Like I prefer supporting, but it just got so flagrant. Like their actions became so damaging and toxic that I'm like, man, we can't can let this continue, and that's why we continue to do what we do. But as far as me, like concerned about who, like when they say, "Oh, the haters hate when you donate." No, I don't hate it when they donate to you. I understand that you need donations. Trust me, I understand. Johnny G, buenos dias, Frank. Eso, brother. That's right, Johnny G. Nice to see you. Jay Slaughter, 100%. Buenos dias to our gente here supporting. That's right, Johnny G. Thanks so much for supporting. The Hangman Stranger, he has a girl now. I hope he's lying. That's right, Helga. That's right, Johnny G. Primo, his new girl, his name is Zempe. Hi, Jay Slaughter. Let's see. Hopefully, we'll get some side effects. I think there are some side effects already. That's right, Ghost. Jay Slaughter, we meet again. That's right, Ghost. Let's see. There are two types of toxic envy. One manifests itself in some confused stalker like hateful suspicion and obsession. The other is similar, but it leads to devout worship and emulation and bootlicking. Yeah. And I can't do either one because I think that one of the things that I had to work on very early on that I knew was going to be a problem for me was seeking validation. And I think that whenever you come from, situations like I didn't come from a broken home, but there was a lot of tension. Like we had a lot of issues, my dad and I. Like we had a lot of issues, right? So I was very like rebellious, and that's why it was hard for me. I was seeking validation elsewhere, because I felt like I wasn't getting it at home. So a lot of the shit that I did was sort of like to give validation. Oh, look, that fool. Oh, hey, look, you see what Frank did? Oh, look, Frank. So I would, like, as a kid, I sometimes would do the most seeking that. And I think that a lot of us start that way. A lot of us start doing the most as kids. And that's what gangs take advantage of. Like, gangs take advantage of that. They take advantage of the willingness of kids to do the most because they're seeking validation. It's like, okay, hey, you want some validation? You want to score some points? Go do that highly, and there you go. And you'll be one of us. And it sounds good because that's what people are seeking. They're seeking validation. They're seeking to be recognized. They're seeking those attaboys. But imagine being the age that we're at right now, seeking that shit. That's why I knew I had to work on that. I had to work on that situation inside of me that needed to be reassured, that needed to be recognized. I mean, recognition is cool. Don't get me wrong. It feels good to be recognized, it feels good to be acknowledged. No, but when that's like the end all, when that's all you're seeking, like that in a check, then you might do things and you might make mistakes trying to achieve it. And that's what I'm against. And that's what I put out there. Like my content is for you to listen, and if you're thinking about putting out a channel, just to understand what not to do. Like there's so much shit that you can just see and be like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that for clicks and views. I wouldn't do that for a YouTube check. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it real time. If you guys haven't been paying attention, there's been a lot going on in the last 24 hours, and I would say 48 hours that you should consider because you know one of the things that I always say is you don't got to lie to kick it. I'm not going to come out here and lie to you just to kick it. I'm not going to come out here and say I'm this, I have this, I have that. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I'm not going to say all of that. Unless it's real and I can prove it to you. And a lot of times the only times that I've come out and said things is because people criticize me. Oh, you're in the third world. You're only making so much money. Okay, yeah, but look at what I can do down here with my money. I mean, it's a different economy, right? And trust me, I learned the hard way. Like I know what it is to get into some shit with a credit card. I got into shit with the credit cards. That's why I don't use them anymore because I had to pay them off. And I was stuck for a while paying off credit cards. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna ever gonna get into this type of shit ever again. And that was, and once again, these are lessons that I've learned and I've come to learn that I've adapted. And that's why, when I see this situation, the economic situation, that I'm sure you guys already know what I'm alluding to. I'm like, fuck, that's kind of fucked up. Like, I wouldn't want to be in that situation, but I know what it feels to be to be like controlled by the bank, where you're like, you got to loosen up, as many cents as possible to get out of it. And it's crazy. It's hard. It's a hard situation, especially when you have kids, especially when you're married and you're supposed to be the one to bring home the bacon, right? I mean, a lot of us still live in that type of culture, not especially down here. You still see like the man going out and the woman staying at home, but that's been changing. But I still have that sense of pride of, I got to be the one that works. I got to be the one that brings home the bacon. I got to be the one to do this. No, it's that drive, that energy that keeps me doing what I'm doing now here and keeps this as a hobby that hopefully I can make some money off of. But this is not my primary thing, and I'm not going to come out here lying to you, doing the most for clicks and views because I'm not competing against anyone. But some people are competing. And you can tell by all the shit that they do and talk about. Then there's a healthy envy where you see a quality, property, demeanor, or possession even that you admire and wish to have, but without any pathological lashing out. Yeah, I don't know if I would call it healthy envy. Maybe it would be admiration. You could probably admire. Maybe it could be ambition. Something that drives your ambition. Like, you see that your friend bought a car and like, you know what? If I work extra hard, I could buy that car too, right? So that motivates you, and I don't think it's envy, but it might be more of admiration of wanting to get it. It's more like that's how I see it, but I may be wrong. I don't know. That's right. Wish goes. I've forgotten about the somebody didn't invite me. All right. You see, I find it to be bizarre that so many weirdos on the other side target you, Frankie. You're a good dude, and to me, it's apparent. I mean, look, bro. I'm not good. Good. I mean, because I know that I've talked my shit. I know. I've been very conscious about the things that I've done and the videos that I've put out. I'm very conscious that it's gotten people upset. It's ruffled some feathers, but hey, it's because why'd you try to put a jacket on me? Like that's what it was. Like I would have left it all alone. I would have never had any issues with these other people. Like with Dubs and Gunner. Yeah, that's obvious because we've been blitz attacking them fools forever. But then this other group of people is like, come on, what am I like? How am I threatening your existence? So the minute that they try to put a jacket on me, like they've been trying to do that, they talk about, oh well, we left because of you, and like all of these narratives, man. I'm like, when did I ever have these weird ass discussions with people? Like I've never had any arguments with people. All of a sudden they just come out and they have a problem with me. So then that's where it goes to what I'm talking about, Hangman, where I think it might be misplaced jealousy. They might feel threatened. I don't know. But why are you competing? Why are you jealous of me? I ain't doing shit. No. I'm just out here doing my thing. Frank Tico's dropping knowledge talking pop. I'm just out here doing my thing. No. Did it really bother you guys that much that I said I was going to be a part of the exposed to revolution? That really bothered people? And it really bothered them, I guess, because I put an exposed to production on the videos that I align with what we're doing with exposed to. But the reason why I started putting it, I'm going to say one more time. The reason why I started putting an exposed to production is because the majority and all of the clips that I was using in the beginning and some of those videos came from the lives that ET was doing because at that moment that was the source and it's still the source for many content creators if they want to see what these fools are doing. So a lot of my clippings, a lot of my original clippings came from the lives that ET was putting out and some that Chemo had put out. And I used to tag Chemo on some, the ones that where I used his media, but then became easier for me to just put an exposed to production at the end because I'm like, hey, wait a minute, but I'm also a part of this. I'm a part of the exposed to revolution, so I feel like I can put that here. Like this is an exposed to production because we're all exposed to. And it's not me trying to like come off or get over on anybody. It was just me like showing my number one, my appreciation for where the content was coming from, and number two is the fact that I'm making it clear and making it known where I stand. know that this is where I stand, and I'm going to continue to do it straight up. Only because you see what these guys are doing now. Last night was different. Last this morning's near crash out was different. I don't know if you guys noticed. It's right there. I left it up. You know, he had the opportunity to talk about me, and he said something. He did mention something, but then he chose to tone it down. He knew I was watching, and he chose to tone it down. I'm still wary of it because, you know, it's Weary Wednesday. Frank Dika's dropping now. He's talking Papa's live. It's still weird. I'm still wary of him. I'm still wary of it. That does not make me feel like, oh, maybe he's turning around. Maybe he's turning a page. Maybe he's coming around. No, maybe he wants to be my friend. No, not at all. I just think that he knows that he's said a lot of things that he shouldn't have said. He's said a lot of things on lives that he shouldn't have said. You know, he's made threats. He's done things that he shouldn't. He's very wary of it. He's wary of it. He's wary of his own words right now. And last night he had the opportunity to crash out and he didn't. And I think that it's because someone's probably gotten in his ear. I think even it might even be Gunner, you know, because I think there's people speaking for Gunner. There's people talking amongst themselves, like trying to get them together, trying to get them to work things out. I saw it on. If you guys noticed the video that I dropped today, but it was an old live. It was from like 4 days ago, I think. I was just holding on to it, but but I think, damn it, Janet and some other people like Cheeks and them are trying to like keep them together. You know, they're having conversations around it. You know, and in that video, you can kind of see that that's kind of what's going on. So I think that there are people that are trying to help them stay together. And maybe one of those conditions is fool, but you're always crashing out. Like you're always mentioning these fools. You're always talking about them. Like we can't even have a live. We can't even do this without you fucking getting all crazy on these fools, right? So that might be some part of the negotiations. I don't know. I'm just, you know, talking papas. I'm just talking papas. Frank Tico's dropping now. Is talking papas live on a wary Wednesday. I know he's wary of me. I know he's wary of any content that might come out, and I think that he was very smart in leaving the situation of the video that was, you know, dropped by the other side. You know what we were talking about yesterday. I think he was very wary of mentioning and talking about it. He didn't. He could have talked about that situation, and he decided to keep out of it, and that's smart. That's pretty smart. He should stay out of it. It does not concern him, and I think he understands and he realizes, you know, that there is a complexity in situations like that. So I hope that's how it stays. But you know, I'm wary of these fools. That's right, Popeye, free taco. Yeah, free taco, man. Shout out to Taco Sting, man. That's the homie right there. Ghost, I am kind of. Let's see, just give me a reason. All right, Hellraiser, Portishead, okay. Free them potatoes. Yeah, we're talking Popeyes. You know what's up, man. Fragrant, even. Fragrant, yeah. Flagrant, what is it? Let's see. Do you just call me a potato? At least call me a sweet potato. Let's see, I kind of hate it, but only because it makes me nauseated by the stupidity of their brain dead and perverted congregants. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Does was and still is a validation seeking crash out. Yeah, exactly. He is. I mean, you can see it on his lives all the time. On TikTok, everywhere that he comes out, the videos that he puts out, the way that he does them, like the dramatic pauses, all that shit. Popeye, I concur. That's right, Popeye. The only difference is back in the day when he received validation, he took just under 3 months to snitch. Now he immediately snitches. Jay, definitely a pro at it. Yeah, he's gotten better. Hey, what's up, Machete? Sending mines in full right quick, Mr. Ticas. I'm from the Pacific Ocean, sailing into San Francisco Bay Area. Hey, good trip, Machete. That sounds good, bro. Hey, have fun, man. Have fun. Hey, you know, we only live once, bro. So go ahead and take advantage of that. Hey, shout out to Machete. You know what's up, man. You're always a cool person. on the chat with me on my channel. So I appreciate you, bro. Thanks so much. That's right, everyone. Shout out to Popeye Machete, Cali Big Dog, Jay Slaughter, Hangman Stranger, everybody that's made themselves present. What's up, man? We are also a collective, so it makes perfect logical sense. Yeah, we're a collective. So I support the collective. No, and so people come and go, and that always happens. Like, I don't know why it surprises people. I see this fool talking about war of attrition. Man, there's been attrition on every side. Like, there's attrition on that fool's side. And there are people that aren't coming up anymore. I don't care. Some people choose to move on. Some people get tired. Some people get bored. They want to find other things to do, and that's okay. I'm sure that at some point, even the content that I do, and the people that figure in it will change, and that's fine. I mean, I'm just going to stay active with my channel as much as I can, and do it as long as it's entertaining to me, as long as it's something that I feel that I'm doing well and I have the energy. I'm cool. I'm gonna continue doing it. These YouTubers running on fumes, chasing views like writers do, burned out, drama fed, recycling the same beef with a different thumbnail, finding battles they created just to keep the camera rolling, talking loud, going live, and stirring the pot because without the drama, the views might dry up. Same circus, different day, and everybody's tired but still chasing down. Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. And that's why I try to switch it up a little bit so we can talk about things. But I also use them as examples. I use them as examples because we're talking about what we're doing on these YouTube streets, on these algorithms, right? Like, what are we doing? Why is it that I put my content out there? It's to counter what's they're putting out there. My content is to counter that other type of content. That's why I don't come and lie to you guys or gaslight you, or I'm just gonna come out here and just talk shit just for the sake of talking shit, because I know that people are gonna watch and they're gonna be interested in me crashing out on somebody. I mean, if that's what you came to see, you're not gonna get that. Maybe once or twice, maybe once, maybe once a month, maybe every 2 months. I don't know. But that's not me, man. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I'm not competing against anybody, nobody. I'm only competing against myself. I just need to do it better every time for me. Let's see, when somebody can't even articulate their problem with somebody, or they have to make up lies to justify their resentment, it tends to be toxic envy. Usually they hate the authenticity. Yeah, look, man, I mean, Jay, you already know, and those of you that are in the Discord, and that we talk, Popeye, all of you guys, Miss Yaya, Oxnard, Helga, Ill Mannered, all of you guys, man, Kelly, Big Dog, Torta Pounder, shout out to Torta Pounder, Taco Stain, Hangman Stranger. Like, you guys already know the type of conversations that we have, and you know how I feel about a lot of this shit. Like, I really don't I don't resent people. I don't have bad feelings towards people, but I do defend myself, and I will do that all the time. No, and part of it creates content. Fuck it, it creates content. But as far as me looking to seek out drama, I don't need the drama, man. Like, I got too many things going on in my life, like that I'm trying to do, that I'm trying to take care of. I'm trying to build up on my end. That I'm not concerned about drama. Like, to me, if you need the drama, if you need drama to sell your channel, to sell views, then you're doing something wrong, man. Because then you're not very creative. But once again, we didn't come out here to reinvent the wheel. So obviously, there are going to be people that seek drama, that will want that drama because they believe that that's how they get the views. That's how they're going to get donations, I guess. And some people really want to build a reputation of being like a hard ass, like being hardcore here on YouTube, untouchable. You can't fuck with me. See, that's the thing. Like, that's why I don't watch a lot of channels, man, because I can only take so much of people saying, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I can do this," and I'm okay, yeah, but doing it in a way where they're talking like those other dudes. Like, I can't really listen to too much of that. But I respect their hustle. If that's what's going to get them views, continue to do it, and that's cool. I'm just not going to do it that way. I prefer not to. But that's why I don't watch too many of them, because I understand that even when we put these fools on blast, it does become somewhat repetitive. I understand that too. No, but that's why we do other things. And if you look at ET, the Explosive Revolution, that's why he's got the battle boxes, the collective. Now we got the Gen X, I believe, initiative, Ladies of Exposed to the True Crime. I mean, it's expanding because that's how channels have to be. Like you have to think ahead, you have to think outside the box and see what you can give your viewers, people that are subscribing to you, people that are donating, people that are putting money in your pocket with their views, with their likes, with their subscriptions. No, even if they're even when you don't donate, but if you give a like, if you watch a video, if you subscribe to a channel, it helps. It helps everybody. It helps the content creator. And that's why we will continue supporting everybody that's down with us. And I once again, I'm not competing against none of y'all. Like with socially and emotionally clowns who are incapable of authentic connections or authentically representing something that will fuel some envious hatred and lashing out when nobody has wronged them or done anything sound. Yeah, I think that's where I get a lot of my hate. I think it's the fact that I'm able to express what I'm thinking, my thoughts, and I do it in an articulate way. Which I think is fucking degrading. Like I think it's racist when people tell me, "Oh, you're so articulate." Like, why wouldn't I be? Like, why wouldn't I be articulate? Because you saw me, you think I look a certain way, so you're surprised that articulate words came out of my mouth. That to me is a little bit of a microaggression when people say, "Oh, you're very articulate." Like, why wouldn't I be? But those are things that I'm worried about. Like when people compliment me a certain way, I think about it. Like, are you complimenting me? Is that a backhanded compliment? Are you really talking shit? No, so I'm kind of weary about certain things, but like I said, a lot of things I just watch, I just listen to. I'm all right, cool, yeah, all right, hey, thanks, man. But I'm paying attention. We got to pay attention, and that's all I'm saying. Like, there's a difference between being suspicious because you're jealous or you feel threatened than being suspicious because you already know the type of person that you're dealing with, right? And maybe that person isn't honest. Maybe you know that they talk shit about other people. So if they come in and spontaneously congratulate you, you might want to reconsider if that is a true pat on the back or if it's just there to hold you back, like smiling faces sometimes. You know what I mean? Practicas rápido, Talkin, papas, live. Hey, Terps, buenos días, saludos y respetos, que Dios los bendiga y los guarde a todos. Hey, likewise to you, Terps. And I support Terps, man. Shout out to Terps. Please go watch his channel. Please go subscribe. And that's my brother right there. He does what he does. He does it his way, just like Ghost, just like a lot of people, man. We all have our different way of doing things, even though we're using a lot of the same technology, a lot of the same apps. I mean, we're all still putting out content, and it's different. And shout out to Terps, man, and everybody that rocks with them. Keep rocking and hit the like and subscribe to his channel. That's right. That's right. Terps Dog, SO, Cali Big Dog, G Slaughter, ill mannered catching a DP for dereliction of duty. Okay. I don't know why. G Slaughter, that's right. Saludos, Frank, and everyone. Hey, saludos, Hugo Torres. Nice to see you, man. Popeye, that's right. I'm hardcore untouchable, but it's just an act and all fun in case I get my car pulled in out class. Yeah, I don't mind like when people call like so there's so many different narratives on me, right? By these people that see me as a threat or they're jealous or they're angry. I don't know what I did to them. I really don't know what I did to them. But the people that are putting out the narratives, like there's so many conflicting narratives. One is that I perv out on women on DMs, but at the same time, I'm gay. Which one is it? And which one are you going to run with? Then the other one is that I tell ET that I told E or I tell ET what to do. Like that was a narrative for a while. That I was the mastermind. But then lately it's like, oh, did your daddy let you do this? Did you gotta get permission? So which one is it? Now some people say that I'm brain dead, that I'm stupid, that I'm, whatever, like, just the craziest insults. And then you guys see the type of media they create, the AI shit they create on me is fucking crazy. And these are people I don't know. These are people that, I've only dealt with here in what we do. And so I'm like, wow, where does this come from? Like, where does this shit come from? And then the only thing that comes to mind is, and this, and I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying, like, are you jealous of me? Do I threaten you, dude? Because that's the only thing that would explain so much energy. Like, so much energy spent on little old me. Frank Tica's rapping, no, it's talking Papa's life, and then there's the trolls and so many other things. And then there's even people that maybe rock with me, but they feel that, I don't know, that you might have some certain feelings about me. Maybe you think that I think I'm too smart or I'm smarter than everyone, but I don't. I'm just confident, man. I'm just confident. And understand that it took me years to gain this confidence. It took me years to be able to speak openly, freely, and transparently. It's taken time, and I'm not doing this because I want to sound smarter or be better than anybody. No, I'm just showing you guys that it's possible. I mean, if a guy like me, man, that came from nothing, bro, and I'm still not anything, but I'm a father. I'm a responsible man. I got a good job. I have a wife. I have a house. If I have the basics. I have what it takes to be content as a man. And so, but who was I before that? Before that, I didn't even know if I was gonna make it. I didn't even know if I was gonna have a home or if I was gonna be married. If I didn't even have any idea as to what my life was gonna be. I lived but day by day. I was insecure. I was scared of what people would think about me, and I wanted acceptance. I wanted validation, but at the same time, I wanted to be hardcore. I was confused. So it took years. Like what you see now is a product, what I am is a product of so many years figuring myself out. So once again, when I come out here and talk to you guys, I come out here, with respect, but at the same time, letting you know what I think, letting you know why I feel this way, letting you know why, what I went through, what I learned. And that's what I share with you. How does that threaten you? Unless you're working, and you're getting paid and you're making money to fucking go at me, then all right, I can understand. Get your money. Get your money. Frank Dica's dropping Nas talking Papa's live on a weary Wednesday. But once again, I'm not out here competing with anybody. I just want to kick it, and I like the community that we have, and whatever I can do to support, whatever content I can put out there to support what we do, I'm gonna do it. Machete YouTubers dragging YouTubers like it's full time job, throwing dirt, exposing dirt, then digging deeper just to monetize a mess. Everybody talking reckless behind the screen. Yeah, bro, and listen, man, I think that a lot of it is tit for tat. I mean, a lot of it is, okay, you did this to me, and now I got to come back and hit you harder. And that's what's going on. Do I like it? I mean, it may be entertaining, but deep down inside, I'm like, man, it's not necessary. It's not necessary to go all the way out, but sometimes, I mean, it's not necessary under normal circumstances. But sometimes it's necessary when someone is getting out of hand for you to be like, okay, stop, man. And it's, I always tell you guys, like, if you were to insult someone on the street, like if you called them out their name, you called them a bitch, you better be ready to get down or to face the consequences. And you can't tell that person, well, I only called you a bitch, so why are you hitting me? No, it's like, I called you a bitch expecting you to hit me. So if these guys are coming out here and they're talking shit, they're exposing and putting out sensitive material out there, then don't get upset when someone responds to that. And that's the whole thing. That's why I particularly don't enjoy getting into that type of shit. Let's say in Spanish, it's a dime direte, like you tell me, I'll answer you back, that tit for tat. I don't. I didn't think that this was going to be that way. Hey, but it is what it is, and I'm prepared for it. Fuck it. That's right, Mr. Oxnard. That's right, Machete. Let's see. Yes, that's right. It's what keeps most of us watching. Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. Like I said, I mean, the drama does sell, and it does make it entertaining. But at the end of the day, it's like, now you really want to go that route for some views and for a fucking check. But now I see that check, that YouTube check, is really important in some households. That YouTube check in some households is really important. It might be what's keeping the household afloat. I mean, I don't have that problem because I work. No, but if I had made YouTube my whole thing, and I'm relying on that check, no wonder these fools will go out and do whatever they do to continue getting paid, to continue creating that drama, stir that shit, to get the views, to get the likes that will keep that check coming in. And that's what it is. So I agree that it keeps people watching, it keeps these particular types of people paid, and a lot of times they need the pay. Like they need it because they're in dire economic situation. So I can understand, like, I mean, there are people out there committing crimes because they need to make ends meet, So hey, fuck it. If you're gonna be on YouTube acting a fool, do it. But I'm not gonna follow your lead. And I'm not threatened by it. Like the only thing is that if it gets out of hand, if you start talking shit about women, making threats and all of these things, then it becomes an issue because now I, once again, as a parent, as a family man, and all of these things, I will not be down with seeing that shit. That's right, Hugo Torres, Mr. Oxnard. A lot of dumb fucking idiotic low IQ as people misinterpret articulation and speaking with grace or intelligence as an affront to them or attempt to demonstrate superior. Yeah, I think I get a lot of that, bro. But I'm not new to it. I'm not new to it, unfortunately. A lot of people discriminate against people that look like me, and I'm talking even in this country. When you go to a job, I remember when I started working, and in the whole office setting, and people were surprised that I was moving up within the company because they're like, wait a minute, but who's this guy? He's not one of these people. He's not. But then once they got me into meetings and they saw like I'm always been someone that shares best practices. Like I don't keep shit to myself. If I find a way of doing things better, if I am able to streamline a process, I'll share it with people. I'll share it because the way I see it is, if the team does well, we all do well. Like if I'm part of the team, if the team does well, then I'm going to do well too. That's how I see things. That's how I live my life. I always pursue what's best for everybody. And sometimes what's best for everybody is getting these fools off of fucking social media because they're doing too much. They are fishing and hope find something. Yeah, Helga, they do. They fish. They hope to find something. And once again, I can understand it. No, I can understand it, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm not in competition with anyone. If that's what's going to get them the views, the clicks, the subscriptions that they're looking for because they need it, hey, man, I'm not going to knock it. Do what you do. But really, they're just fucking dumb as shit. So they see genuine intelligence and it hurts their moronic ass brains and feel. I mean, I'm only somewhat intelligent, man. I just think that I've learned a lot of lessons in life. I sends mine up and down the line. Much respect to all. That's right, Machete. Hey, man. Hey, you're having a great trip out there, bro. Hey, God bless you, man. Dios te bendiga. I hope you have an excellent rest of the trip, man. Keep us posted, bro. They need you to be a perv to discount your righteousness and authenticity. They need you to be gay because you have a sick homoerotic. They have a sick homoerotic fixation on you. They're fighting the feeling and holding out hope. Yeah, no, you know what it is that I don't come out here talking about women or sexualizing women. I want to tell you what happened, man. So I was, on my Instagram, I was viewing this video and I was like trying to figure out if it was AI or not. But it's like this woman who plays soccer. But I don't know if she has a BBL or what, man, but she's got like her body proportions are crazy. I mean, she's a very voluptuous woman that plays soccer. and you know, she records all the things that she does. She's got a bunch of viewers. So I was watching it. I'm like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. But I didn't know if it was AI or not, right? I didn't know if this was a real person or if it was AI. But then I don't know what I did. And I shared one of her videos on my Instagram stories, but I didn't even trip. I was like, because I don't usually share that type of thing. And then this morning I woke up, I look, and I'm like, what the fuck did I shared this shit? So I don't share things like that. Like I'm not. I think that the biggest challenge for a man is to truly hold himself accountable and have self control. And I know that I have not achieved it at 100%. There's still shit that triggers me, but there are certain things that I have self control over. And one of those things has to do with dealing with women. Like I can deal with women on a one-to-one basis, and it will never get anywhere out of disrespect. And I've even had like some people, like, I guess, tested. I don't know if I was being tested or what, by women, where they'll make like certain comments, and it's like, what are you trying to say here? But it sounds like it's going down another way, and I'll be quick to be like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, but I won't entertain it because I do not entertain shit like that. I chose not to. I fought against this. Why? Because when I was younger, when I was out there acting stupid, I didn't care. And I would get with girls and I would meet one. And then the next day, if I met someone else, and we hit it off, and they were, if she was down to get down, I would. And I lived that way for a while, but it went from empty one night stands. It gets to a point where you're like, man, but I don't have anybody in my life. I don't have anyone that righteously loves me. I don't have anyone that's righteously, with me till the end, working on projects, trying to build a home. And when I started this process, I'm like, that's exactly what I need. I need to stop thinking about women this way and start understanding what it is that I should be looking for if I want to live a better life. And it hasn't been easy, bro. It hasn't been easy because I'm a man, and we're tempted. We're still in the skin. But I think self control is something that we should all possess. Like, if you consider yourself a man, you have to have self control, even in your anger, even in your emotions. You have to have self control. Some things are going to bubble over. We're not perfect. Sometimes we're not going to be able to hold in our anger or our disbelief or maybe even our sarcasm, like, all right, whatever. Sometimes we're going to express those things, and it's okay. But we cannot be led astray by what we feel. Like, we have to be in control of that. We have to be in control of our passions. I honestly believe that. And that's why I think that people see that, and they build their narratives around it. But hey, man, I find women attractive. But I've learned not to look too long. And that was hard. That was hard. To go from damn, to okay, attractive woman, but that's it. That To do that took years. It took years of me understanding why I did it. So once again, I come out here. I'm not coming out here lying to you guys, like pretending to be somebody. I'm telling you, I had those struggles. And I have other struggles that I'm still working on, that I'm still dealing with. But my whole focus, my whole purpose of my channel, and like I told you guys, is you're on this journey with me, is to show you, is to explain to you what's worked for me. May not work for you, but at least you can consider it, and at least you know that it worked for me, because I'm telling you, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it live. You're hearing it from me. Ftdk's dropping nice Talkin Papas live on a weary Wednesday. There's pseudo-intellectual scum. Yeah, that's right. What's up, Shankopotamus? Rule of thumb, be nice, respectful till it's time not to be nice and respectful. That's correct, Shankopotamus, and that's how I am. I've tried to be respectful, courteous, nice to a lot of people that in the end turned out to start attacking me just because I guess they feel that I'm fake, or I guess they feel that I don't know. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, I'm not in competition with any of you. I'm just going to continue doing what I do, and it don't stop. I got 30 people watching me. Hey, to all the pocket watchers, just so you know, I got 30 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I will continue dropping content. I dropped a video early this morning. I also went live when Does went live, so you guys can catch that there. It's on my channel. I'm going live right now. I was speaking to one of my sisters, and she's like, you should do it live in the afternoon too. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. But if I do, I'm not gonna put a short or any video out today. I might just do the two lives and that's it. But we'll see. We'll see. And so many of them fake foolish pride of being in the presence of pestilent, prune, prehistoric. Straight up, Shanksta. That's right, Shanksta. That's right, J. Slaughter, Shankopotamus. Oh, or a wellness check on Antonio Lopez and that's right, Shank. Let's see. Yes, Frank. These molasses brain maggots with shallow synapses who are also narcissistic and think they are sharp always think a smarter person is talking down to them or showing off, coping. I can't help that though. Chirps. Let's see. Got you playing in the background. Hey, what's up, Torta Pounder? What it do, everyone? Hey, shout out to you, bro. Yeah, Egyptian lover, Frank in chat. That's right. Yeah, Johnny was on a sick one last night. Yeah, but he controlled himself. He maintained. He maintained. All right, so listen, we've been talking for a bit now. I want to share a video with you guys. It's not a long video, but I think you guys will understand what it is that I'm talking about. Once again, I'm not in competition with anyone. I hope the best for every content creator that's out there putting in their work, putting out good content, positive content that helps people, or entertains people. But not everything that entertains you is good. And it gets to be overboard sometimes when you use your platforms to attack, to humiliate, to denigrate people just because you don't see eye to eye with them. I started doing that right back at you guys when you guys started doing it to me for no fucking reason. You want to put a fucking jacket on me, and it's not a light jacket. You were trying to put a heavy fucking jacket on me. And then you started disrespecting me and calling me out of my name and putting out images, calling me out for fights and shit. You know? So what was I supposed to do? Just stay quiet and let that shit happen? Hell no. Nah. I got shit. I got weapons at my disposal. you know? That's why we do what we do. Frank Dica's dropping on Stocking Papas live on a wary Wednesday. That's why I'm wary about some of the people that, all of a sudden, talk about, don't talk about me and, peace treaty, whatever. And then they turn around and they do the shit again. So that's why I'm worried about all of that. No? Sorry about that. I got vendors going around with speakers and shit. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Sammy Vasquez. The process of becoming self aware is key to self management and understanding certain freedoms, especially the freedom to be oneself. It's not easy to maintain the old beliefs, but it's doable. Yeah, and that's the challenge, and that's exactly what's been going on. It's like I need to be able to hold myself accountable first and foremost. I have to have control of myself first. Like I can't come and have external forces control me because I'm getting out of pocket. Just also Bree was back. Oh yeah, I saw that. All right, hey, good to see you, Egyptian lover. That's right, Helga. Hey, so fuck a piece. I mean, some people believe in them. Like I could only believe in like a righteous peace treaty if it was like truly like talked about amongst a few and people were held accountable. But I know that's not going to happen. Some people enjoy this shit too much. All right, let me go ahead and share this with you guys. Okay, let me put it up on screen.
Have you ever wondered why someone suddenly turns into a weird combo of your biggest hater and your biggest fan? I will save you from the mental gymnastics of trying to figure out if someone's just having a bad day, or if they're a full-blown jealous gremlin hiding behind a polite smile. Because guess what? Jealous people are like mosquitoes, useless, annoying, and obsessed with draining your energy while pretending they're not even there. And worst of all, they don't wear name tags. They'll hype you up in public, then roast you in private. They'll smile at your glow-up, then trip over themselves trying to dim your shine. So, today I'm giving you 5 savage signs that you're definitely dealing with a jealous person. Not maybe, not possibly, not kinda sorta. I'm talking undeniable, in-your-face red flags that someone is low-key hating your success while acting like they care. Stick around, because sign number 5, that's the deadliest one. It's the final boss of fake friends. Oh, by the way, I always randomly pick one comment from the last video and roast the person because I can, so stick around to see if it's yours. Let's go. Sign 1. They disguise insults as jokes. They'll say things like, "Oh my God, look at you getting that promotion. Who did you bribe, huh? Ha 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 ha. I'm just kidding. Relax, you're so sensitive." No, you're not sensitive. They're just a walking landfill of bitterness, dressed in sarcasm. Jealous people love using jokes as a Trojan horse to insult you without consequences. It's their favorite weapon. Because if you call them out, "Oh, come on, I was just playing." Nah, you were projecting. They'll laugh when you get in shape. They'll clown your new side hustle. They'll joke about how you're trying too hard, when the only thing they've tried is your patience. Here's a rule. If the joke only punches down and never lifts you up, it's not a joke. It's jealousy with a laugh track. Sign 2. They go silent when you win. Have you ever dropped some good news expecting a, "Wow, that's amazing," and instead got radio silence? You text them, "Bro, I finally launched my business." And they hit you with, "Oh, cool." No emoji, no exclamation point, just dry as sandpaper. Listen, real friends will scream like fangirls when you win. Jealous people, they suddenly forget how to speak. They'll vanish when you succeed, but magically reappear when you fail, like some kind of emotional vultures circling your breakdown for content. Let me make it crystal clear. If someone only claps when you're struggling but stays silent when you rise, cut them off like split ends. Because that ain't support. That's a one-sided loyalty contract signed in invisible ink. Sign 3. They imitate you, and then undermine you. Jealous people are the kings and queens of copy-paste energy. One week they're asking you for advice. The next week they're acting like they invented your entire personality. They'll start dressing like you, talking like you, posting like you. And then they'll turn around and say, "Yeah, I've been doing that for a while." Excuse me? You were literally in my DM asking how I did it, and now you're pretending I'm the copycat. Nah, bro. Jealous people want to be you while still looking down on you. They want your shine, but they want you to feel like you didn't earn it. Let them copy. Let them clown. Because imitation without originality is just cosplay. Sign 4. They bring up your past to humble you. Ah yes, the classic, "Don't forget where you came from" type. As if you were about to suddenly delete your memories because you leveled up. You tell them you just hit a milestone, new job, fitness goal, got into a dream school, and they're like, "Yeah, but remember when you used to fail math?" Or, "Let's not forget who used to cry over their ex, huh?" Shut up, just say you're jealous and go. These are the people who treat your past like it's a leash, trying to yank you back every time you break free. But the truth is, they're uncomfortable with your growth because it reminds them of their stagnation. So they dig up your L's from 5 years ago to remind you that you're not perfect. But let's be real, they're not doing it to humble you. They're doing it to humiliate you. Next time someone tries that, hit them with, "Yeah, I remember that version of me. That's why I upgraded." Sign 5. They compete with you, even when you're not competing. This is the final boss level of jealousy. The fake friend who treats your success like a scoreboard. You say, "I just bought a car." They say, "Oh nice, mine's newer." You say, "I'm proud of my weight loss journey." They say, "Well, I always stayed fit though." Bro, nobody asked for a flex off. Here's the deal. Jealous people don't want to win. They just don't want you to win more than them. It's not even about the prize. It's about stealing your spotlight. They'll one-up everything you say like it's a competition you never entered. Meanwhile, you're just trying to live your life, and they're out here turning it into the jealous Olympics. You post a picture or project, and instead of hyping you up, they slide in with, yeah, but trust me, those yeah, but people, cut them, delete, block, escape. They will never let you celebrate in peace. Let's get one thing straight. Jealous people aren't just annoying, they're dangerous to your mindset. They gaslight your accomplishments. They twist your growth into arrogance. They make you feel guilty for shining. But here's the truth. Your success isn't too much. They're just too small to handle it. So here's your permission slip. Outgrow them, outrun them, out-savage them. You don't owe loyalty to someone who's secretly rooting for your downfall. Surround yourself with people who clap when you win, not people who clap when you fall. Because your circle shouldn't be a ring of jealous critics. It should be a squad of savage hype machines, all leveling up together. If this video just exposed someone in your life, good, now you know. Share your own experience.
All right, that's right. That's right. Just wanted to share that video with you. You know, I'm sure it gets a little more complicated than that, but just on general terms, I think it was a pretty good video. I think it does outline a lot of the things that we see going on. Once again, I'm not competing with anybody. I don't find myself to be in competition with none of you. If anything, I support those that support me. I will continue supporting those that support the exposed soup revolution, and it don't stop. We're gonna keep doing what we do. That true. That's my job. Okay. Yeah. Look. So I'm man. I don't even know if I should do this. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'll just wait. I heard someone have make a comment today and presented it like it's an idea, like it's an original idea. Um, I'm not going to mention where I heard it, who I heard it from, but they mentioned something that they wanted to do, like some imagery behind something that I have already done. I had already done that. Sounds hella like Bambi. Yeah, well, there's more than that. There's others, many others. And yeah, now if this person who made that comment was a friend of mine, didn't hate my ass for no fucking reason, I would let this person know, like, hey man, I already did that you're trying to do. But go ahead, because if I was bad, if I was like an evil person, when they do what they said that they were gonna do and they put it out there, I could just come back and say, oh look, you're copying me, you're a fucking biter. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. And I was gonna share my video, what I did months ago. Okay, we're talking about. I'll tell you guys right now. I put out a video. Let's see. I made 4 videos on Bambi. The first was addressing him. It's called No Bozos. You can go look it up. There's a video months ago. Like I'm talking like a long time ago, called No Bozos. Then I did this other video that had to do with him and Bloody Tecato, which I put no effort into. And that was kind of like me saying, it's not even worth my time to edit it the way I should have fucking edited it. It's a crude video. It's a crude video. Who's Bambi? Okay, Maxine, you don't know? You don't know? Hey, someone fill her in, man. Someone fill her in. That's someone that used to be down with Explosive months ago, but now they are. He's the one that's going at us the most. Him and his trolls. Okay, so I put out 2 video. I put out 4 videos. So the first one was addressing the jacket they had placed on me. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna help, Hangman. It's funny though, but I don't think she's gonna know who that is. But anyways, um, so I put out the video addressing the jacket. Then I did another video addressing him and Bloody Tecato because I saw that they had been doing like Bloody Tecato was doing lives on me, like whole lives on me, like talking about why I wasn't who I was. What you guys just saw on this video that I shared, like finding ways to humiliate me, finding ways of making me look as though I'm not who I am, as though I'm not who I say I am. He was constantly doing it, and people still do it. Now it's changed. Now there's others trying to do that, trying to, formulate an image of me that's contrary to who I am, like to show that I'm a hypocrite, about that I'm not who I say I am, whatever. Once again, I'm not in competition with you guys. I just watch it and I think it's funny. And then I made another video April 6th. Okay, I'm telling you guys the month. If you guys want to go look for it, okay, I made a video on Bambi April 6th of this year. Okay, so we're in what? August, May, June, July, August. So this was 4 months ago. I dropped the video that says Bambi's Playtime. Okay, if you guys go, there's a video called Bambi's Playtime. Now, I suggest, to the person that had a bright idea. Once again, I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to mention where I saw it, who I heard it from. But if you're watching, because I got 19 people watching, I got 19 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If one of you that's watching is, you, go check that video out. Go check that video out. I don't know if I don't know if I should play it, bro. Because then I would be giving up too much game as to who said it. No, I'm not gonna play it, but you guys can go look. So there's a video. There's the last two videos that I did on Bambi were probably the better ones. Which the first one is Bambi's Playtime, and in that one I address a lot of the people that are on his team. And then there's the one that's the origins of Darth Bambitch. And if you go see the origins of Darth Bambitch, if you guys look at the thumbnail and you guys understand what's going down based on Sooner. Shout out to Sooners because Sooners put out some paperwork yesterday, a lot of stuff. But on the thumbnail of the backstory to Bambi, you will see that I put that he had past due debts, and that's without me really even knowing what his financial situation was. But you just kind of see things. You just kind of observe. Like I said, sometimes you just got to sit back, watch, and observe. Maxime, he's someone always talking shit. Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you, Kelly Big Dog. That's right, Cali. Cali Big Dog. That's right. That Ramiro Hernandez played. Nah, I'm not going to play it. You guys can go look for it. You guys can go look for it. Like I said, it's called Bambi's Playtime is one of them. And the other one is, what is it? And the other one is The Origins of Darth. And you guys can look it up. Let's see. Van Nixon's the guy that Frank just spoke of. He's a comic book collector that used to support ET but chose to disrespect the ET movement. He's a very horrible human being. Look at this guy, man. Come on. You think I'm going to read your comment? Come on, bro. But yeah, so, yeah, man. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so once again, man, I'm not in competition with any of you dudes, and I'm not gonna play the video because go ahead and do what you're gonna do, man. Like I'm not gonna step on your shit. I'm not gonna step on what you believe is an original idea, even though 4 months ago I had done it. And see, that's the thing, man. Look, I'm not out here claiming to be the originator of shit. Like I take ideas, I watch other things. I have a lot of knowledge of like stuff that goes on with media, a lot of the things. Sorry about that. A lot of the things that are popular, like I have a very good memory of shows, of things, just things that occurred during the 80s, 90s. And that, if you guys look at my videos, I use a lot of old commercials, things like that. So, when I was doing that video on Bambi called Bambi's Playtime, it seemed logical to me to use some scenes from Toy Story. No? Hey, man, stranger, guess I'll find them. Yeah, go look for it. There's the one is called Bambi's Playtime. That's the one that I'm talking about, though, because in that video, I included a scene that has to do with Toy Story. That's all I'm going to say. And once again, it's not because I think or I'm trying to talk down to this dude that came up with this groundbreaking idea of an AI content he's going to put out. Do it. All I'm saying is none of us is out here reinventing the wheel. The idea that you came up with on your own is something that I put out 4 months ago. Now, when you put it out, you're going to think it was your original idea, and that's fine. And you can ride with it. And if that makes you feel happy, that's cool. Even if you don't like my ass. But all I'm here to tell you guys is there's nothing really truly original out there. All we do is put our spin on it. Like that's what I come out here to do. I come out here and put my spin on all of these different types of ideas that I want to share with you guys, right? But I'm not in competition with any of you. And I think that we as adults need to figure out what it is that makes us jealous or feel threatened about people or new situations. What is it? Like what is it that you're threatened by? What is it that you're jealous of or why are you jealous of this situation? And we have to be able to accept when we're jealous. I mean, I've been jealous. I haven't felt jealousy in years. No, but I know what it feels like. I know where it stemmed from, and I worked on it. A lot of my insecurities, like I said, I've already dealt with. I got 24 people watching, man. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But yeah, go look at that video, Bambi's Playtime, and you're gonna see that I've used concepts like Toy Story concepts and shit like that to put out videos. That's all I'm saying. No, now I'm not hating on anybody that has similar ideas because once again, all of us are going to end up thinking the same things if we're in this type of content. We're all going to come to some of the same conclusions. We're all going to find a video. We're all going to find something that makes sense. And maybe it's something that someone else thought of. Like, I'll give you guys an example of that. Just about a month ago, there was a content creator talking about, the ideas that are being done on the Exposed to channel. Like these are ideas that I had, and I had a year ago, and I had talked about these things. Okay, yeah, I mean, a lot of us may come to a lot of the same conclusions. If I had a big channel, like, and I had women that constantly interacted with me on my lives and jumped on, I would think about, hey, maybe I can do a show with some women, but it would not be an original idea. And there's a bunch of women YouTubers that get together and do lives, and they've been doing it for years before ladies have exposed to. So all that ET did was put it out there. He created it, put the platform out, put the name on it, and let it go. So we cannot claim to be the originators of shit. Like some people try to come in, well, you're this, you do this, you do that. Yeah, I know. And I've been very clear. My primary inspiration was Chemo Flicks. Shout out to Chemo and ET. And then other content creators that I saw some of the things that they did. But all of us had got ideas from the content we were watching. All of us decided if to put out a channel because we saw what others were doing and we said, hey, I could do that too. I'll just add my twist to it. But no one's reinventing the wheel. There's no one that I'm competing with. I feel no jealousy or anything towards anybody because I know I'm doing my thing. Straight up. Maxine, you may not want to find him. He's extremely Let's see, I'm not a jealous person. I love people, okay, but a lot of people get jealous of me when I don't give a fuck. I do me. Yeah, look, yeah, I used to be jealous. I was a jealous person because I was insecure. I had a lot of abandonment, fear of abandonment issues, things like that, that I've had to figure out as I grew up, as I started this process of self, evaluation and trying to get better at what I do. No, but it's misinterpreted as arrogance, which I can understand. But I'm not out here trying to convince you guys of my intentions. I just do what I do. I never asked anybody permission to start my channel or even the content I drop. There are people that have given me ideas and I've run with those ideas. And I'm appreciative of every single person that tells me, hey, Frank, you know what? You should still do something like this. Oh, okay, sounds pretty good. And if it sounds good, I might execute it. Or sometimes I might just do a little part of what you told me, but then do everything on my own. At the end of the day, I'm the one that's putting out the content. Whether it's content similar to what someone else did, that's probably going to be the case because there are so many hundreds of thousands of content creators out there. And there's one or more new every single day. So how am I going to be in competition? I can't be in competition with millions of YouTube subscribers or YouTube channels. I can't. You know how many channels do what we do? Some of them are part of the explosive revolution. Shout out to Sooner. Shout out to Taco Stage. Shout out to the Hangman Stranger. Shout out to Katie Frizzle. I mean, everybody, Terps, everyone that has a channel and is putting content out on these fools. I mean, we're doing similar content, but everybody gives it their own twist, and I support them. Why? Because I'm not jealous. I don't feel threatened. If your channel grows bigger, faster than mine, hey man, you're doing something right. I will continue doing it my way. Now, if I can learn from you and I can adapt something, I'll give you credit. But once I adapt it, once I learn it, it's something that now I'm able to do. It becomes one of my skills. It's no longer you're no longer the have a monopoly on it. Nobody has a monopoly on the creative process of what you can do on YouTube. There is no monopoly on that. You know? So once again, I am not in competition. No, I invite you to drop the content that you drop, but just don't be surprised when you realize that it's not original. I remember when Facebook first came out and there were the Facebook groups, right? Like, Scientology, for example. There's a various groups on Scientology. There's various groups on Japanese art and all of these things. And I remember I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, you know what? I'm going to create a group. And she's like, you know what? She's like, I bet you that any group that you think of, it's already on Facebook. I'm like, really? I don't know, because it was Facebook was relatively new. It was only around 2 years old. And I started saying things as she would search them up, and I'll be like, "What if is there a Facebook group on Nike Cortezes?" And there was a Facebook group on Nike Cortezes. Is there a Facebook group on jackets? There was a Facebook group on jackets, and everything that I would mention, there was already a group. Now I could have just created a group without looking, without researching, and I would have felt that I was being original in that group that I was creating, not knowing, not aware of there being 100, 200 other groups dedicated to the same shit. The only thing is that this would have been my group. It would have had my spin to it. It would have had the things that I wanted to put into it. And that's the only thing that you can do on YouTube is be original. But once your originality goes out the window and you depend on drama and you don't put in the work, you don't do the research, you don't invest in putting out great content, you don't invest time, you don't do the legwork that you need to do, then don't be upset when people start avoiding your shit. A lot of people will leave if all you do is talk shit and have drama. Straight up. Frank Dica's dropping now. It's talking Papa's live on the Wayward Wednesday, on the wary Wednesday. You gotta be wary sometimes. Gotta be wary of people. and their intentions. I just do it now on the sly. Like I can talk to everybody. I'll give everybody the same amount of respect from day one, but I'm always observing. I'm always paying attention. I'm seeing the conversations that are being had. I'm seeing the things that are being said, what's being told to me, and it's different than what's being told to someone else. Like I'm just watching. And a lot of times I don't even say shit. I just know that around this particular person or with these people, I have to be a certain way, and that's it. Or I have to keep them away, and that's it. And I'll just do that. And I won't even mention it. I'll just know that that's how I see things. Because when you let people know, when you let people know right off the bat that you don't like them, you have to make sure that you're able to provide a reason why. And if there is no reason why, then don't say anything. No, don't say anything because you're not going to talk about it if you're not going to let the person know, if you're not going to give the person or allow the person the opportunity to explain themselves. If that's something that you're not going to do, or if you're not interested in having a friendship with that person, why even mention them? Just ignore them. Unless they're coming at you, right? And they're attacking you. And they're talking shit about you behind your back and all of these things. Whenever that happens, the best thing to do is attack it head on, see what the person does when you confront them up front, like, hey, I heard you were doing this and that. Let's see what happens. How the person reacts at that moment will tell you who they are. Straight up. Turbs, good to see you. That's right, Turbs. Maxine. That's right. Good to see you, Turbs. Helga. All right. Well, I've been on for a while. But it's been an hour and 46 minutes. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I got 24 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I did drop a video today earlier. Please go watch it. We also went live recording Dubs. He was drinking and he was on his P's and Q's. He was on his P's and Q's. But hey, the video's right there for you guys to watch. If you want to clip it, if you want to use it, you know what's up, man. It's a free for all. Look for the video, Bambi's Playtime, and you will see what I'm talking about as far as the Toy Story idea. It's right there. That was 4 months ago. Once again, nothing we do is 100% original. No. There are people that have had these similar conversations on other lives, on other videos elsewhere. Told you there's a bunch of motorcycles like that around here. And there's so many delivery people, so you're gonna hear a bunch of motorcycles. There's a lot of like people around here order food all the time. Like there's a lot of those motorcycles. That's why you hear them constantly. All right, but having said that, I just want to thank everyone. I'm thinking about maybe doing a papas in the afternoon as well because I've got time today. I'm only working a little bit these days, which is good. I'm able to get a lot done in a couple of hours. So I do have time. I might not drop a short or a video. I might just do a live at the normal hour, the 4:20 shot, 5:20 my time, 4:20 Pacific time. I might come back and do a live then, and we might bump some music. Since I already got the knowledge part out of the way. Frank Tica's dropping knowledge, talking papas live on a weary Wednesday. We might do one in the afternoon and just bump some music. So you guys let me know what you think. If you guys think, as a matter of fact, let's take a poll. If you guys are down to be with me later on this afternoon, 4:20 Pacific time, to bump some music and have a live, put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat right now. If you want me to go live this afternoon and we're just gonna bump, I might share some things with you guys as well, but it'll be primarily just bumping, listening to music. If you guys want to live this afternoon, put a one, please put a one in the chat. I think the More Jokers music got here last night as people started leaving. Yeah, it was crazy, right? Did you see that? I mean, the live is right there. Yeah, if you guys want me to go live this afternoon so we can bump, talk, shoot the shit. I won't be able to do that every single day, right? But as long as I'm able to, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. All right, Cali Big Dog, that's a one. Mr. Oxnard, that's a one as well. 420. Well, I mean, that's the time. It is Pacific time. It's 5:20 my time. All right, Hangman Stranger said, yeah, okay. Popeye said, cool, all right. I got some people that put a one. Anybody else? Oh, yeah, that's seven. That seven is a lot. Let's see. Terps, I'm down for anything. Hey, man, 5:20 my time, though. So, yeah, just so you guys know. All right, so I'll catch you this afternoon. I'll be putting out a little thumbnail letting you guys know that we'll be live today at 5:20 my time, 4:20 Pacific. Frank Tika's dropping on us talking Papas live. Weary Wednesday. I hope you guys took something from this live. All right, Maxine. Well, I'll be sure to look out for you, Maxine. We're going to be bumping later on this afternoon. Ms. Yaya, gracias for the idea. Thank you so much for the suggestion. Just so you guys know, Mr. Oxnard, Ms. Yaya, and everybody that's down with me, hey, you know what's up, man. Oldies, I mean, we could do oldies, but I think we're gonna mix it up. Because I mean, I know people like the funk. I prefer the funk, but we can throw some oldies in there. Yeah, why not? That's right, Mr. Oxnard. Turbs, Ghost. That's right. Everyone have a wonderful day. That's right, Hangman. Hope you have a great shift. Hope everybody that's going to go work or is at work is having a great shift. If you have to drive, please drive carefully. We will continue to do this every single day, nonstop. Frank Tika's dropping us talking Papas live. And as you guys already know, until next